Good morning, good people. This is Lee Craft, the host of the What If podcast. Today's show is about what does a hug mean? What does a hug actually mean? A lot of people get a hug kind of screwed up a little bit. They don't know what it really means. You know, a hug can be. But before we get started, if you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com or go to Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, or go to TikTok, Instagram, or Threads. Look for the animated black man with a white beard smiling and profiling and finally realizing that y'all trying to size me up. Look, what does a hug mean? A lot of people say a hug means that it shows love, it shows affection, it shows sympathy, it shows joy. But on the other hand, a hug can be deceitful. It can show malice. It can show signs of betrayal. A hug can it can show a discomfort. It shows a lot of different things. That you have to know those signs of a fake hug. You possibly crap. There's no such thing as a fake hug. Shoot, the devil is a lie, or you just don't, or you just in denial. I'm here to tell you. Like I said, I've seen plenty of fake hugs in my life, and like I said, I never given one. Because I'm not a hugger, but I will hug you if it gives you some joy and some peace. And a lot of times people they don't understand that. Lee Craft. A hug don't mean anything. You can hug somebody. No, the devil's a lie. I don't go around just giving away a hug. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I just don't feel comfortable doing that way because people can take that hug as something else. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have no confusion. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to see a blacker man, and they want to hug him and stuff. And like I said, oh, Lee Craft hugged me. Shoot. Don't bring that to my doorstep. But all I'm saying to people, this is really good people. This is the thing, though. What does a hug mean to you? Have you ever seen a hug that, you know what, it just didn't feel right? The timing was off. The body language didn't feel right. And you know that you and the person, y'all don't really care for each other. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did one day. One day I saw these group of ladies. I working at a job now. And I said, how y'all doing? What's going on, Mr. Lee? I said, I didn't know the day was fake hug day. What you said, Miss Lee? I said, I did not know the day was fake hug day. Miss Lee, my hugs are real. Yeah, they real fake. They real fake. Y'all, look, y'all don't care for each other. Why you doing it? It wasn't both of them now. It was one person, at a time. Like I said, you have to learn your personnel. And I get along with everybody. But one thing I can say out of that statement that I made, it did bring them closer together, and they gave a real hug. Because people know when it don't mean much to them. Enemies sometimes can become friends. That's just the way it is sometimes. But be mindful. No matter what you're going through, I can guarantee you one thing, that it's going to be okay as long as you make God a part of your life. That's the what if guarantee. What if you add God to your diet? I guarantee you're going to be, ooh, wait. I can guarantee you that. But like I said, back to the issue at hand. How do you identify a fake hug? It's like your senses in your body. You can feel something just don't feel right. And you can feel something that is genuine. When somebody can lose a loved one, right? And people still will give you fake hugs on that. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I heard. But it's just people. People have to feel you. They have to get to understand you. They have to get a chance to know the man. Know the man. And that's why I try to do on a daily basis. They'll give you an outlet. Like I said, just because people give you fake hugs, don't mean you have to give them a fake hug. Sometimes you can ignite that fire in them to make them start being true to themselves as well as you. I'm just saying, good people. Life lesson. I've been on the earth for going on 60 years. Over those 60 years, I've learned some things along the way. I learned how to not to sit there and argue with a fool. Because my grandfather told me to argue with a fool, that made two fools arguing. So the grandfather, you sure know what to say. Say less, grandfather. Say less. And that's the thing, people. The older generation, they learn a lot of things along the way. Also, we think that they don't know what they're talking about until you have to step into that water. Are you gonna sink or you gonna swim? And they give you the tools to stay afloat. Float on. Excuse me. Look at people. Look. I know you probably question yourself, Lee Craft, what kind of topic is this? The way the world is going today, I want you to use your God-given senses to know when somebody is trying to get over on you. You know, trying to gain your trust. And sometimes we put our guards down. We say, figure out, hey, this person might have changed. Sometimes they do change, and sometimes they don't change. So give them enough space, enough space, so you can see the full view of what's really going on. I don't want you to get fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I don't want you to fall for the okey doke. I want you to be happy, because when you get fooled or you get tricked, man, you're gonna be upset as all get out. It might take some months for you to calm down. I'm just saying, it won't take no months, but it might take some years. How did they get that over me? Nah, it won't take long. Like I said, because we got God in life. God will help heal all those pains and everything. So, like I said, people, that's my show for today. And hopefully you enjoyed that, about how can you tell a fake hug from a real hug. And how can you tell when somebody's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. You know, use your God-given senses. So, like I said, with that being said, this is Lee Craft. This is my podcast. If you have any comments or concerns, please email me at leecraftwhatif@gmail.com. One band, one sound. Together, we got an opportunity to turn this whole world around. But in order to have a real conversation, you got to have real people. If you want to have a real conversation, have a blessed day. And please find time and make time to tell God, thank you, and stay blessed, because you got this. Don't give no fake hugs, because you might get a lot more coming back to you.